Yo, what is up?
Yo,
Is
what's
there a
going
dark
on?
is there a dark mode for StreamYard? It's too
Yeah,
freaking bright. How do you do
dude,
that?
100%. I have mine in dark mode. The screen's
Me
all
too.
dark.
How do I do that?
I don't know, but it's
I think
probably not
Google.
the time to do that right now. We've literally just spent the last.
Listen, I'm just trying to get everything straight. We've been playing with this. I want to get it right. All right.
So here we go for another 25 minutes. This is like Bill trying to figure something out on the show.
Is it in the settings?
I don't know.
I found it.
I just
sweet.
mine's in my Google settings. It's just the dark
Wow,
mode.
son of a
Google.
biscuit. Guy.
Good
I think
gosh.
Could be wrong.
Thank you for helping me through that. I appreciate it.
I didn't do anything except for I can't hear you, or I can hear you and I hear an echo. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I look really pasty today, don't I?
Kind of. Let me ask you a question. I'm very curious about this. Do you feel like, do you wear a hood like a lot when you're home? Like, does it relax you to wear a hood on your head?
I mean, I don't know about a lot, but yeah, sometimes you just like throw it on, you know?
Dude, I almost daily have to wear my hood. Like even the shirt has a hood. It's just a shirt because like it calms me down to have something around my ears for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
So, hey, yeah, I just I hung out with Herman, the freaking Fun Guns Lloyd, the other day. That was
Saw that.
cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, dude, like he walks around bench pressing things, you know. He just like that's how like
dude looks huge, man.
Yeah,
Herman seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. His school's really awesome.
Yeah.
I walk in, he's like, "Hey, can you stop by?" I walk in and like big Clive's on the screen. I'm like, "Oh, geez, what am I in for here?"
It's cool that he got you in to speak to the students a bit.
Yeah.
What you talked about?
A little bit about overtime. I told him like, you guys, you know, they're about to graduate, so I'm like, this is your last chance to get out. You know, you have one more shot. You got like a week left. Last chance to quit. No, I'm just joking. I said, I don't know. I gave him some motivation and such, you know.
Honestly, you got Chicago car that vibe.
That's pretty funny.
He looked good. He looked good. Honestly, here, if I would ever do that, talk to students, the first thing I'll say is, you want to like make more than engineers? Some engineers, this is your chance. I was just talking to another civil engineer, and we're talking whatever. And I'm like, should we see? Because I don't know how it came up, and then they told me, oh, it was below 100 grand. So far, they said. I'm like, okay, we won't talk about it then. I'm telling you, these engineers make less than us.
What Joe was trying to say is, Joe, what you need to do in a situation like that, you need to say, hey, let's play big bank, take little bank. That's what you say to the guy, you know?
Yeah. Anyways,
so it's been a bit since we've had a show, I think, right? I don't even remember. Yeah. Like, honestly, my head, dude, I've been having to skip my stuff a lot lately. It's been freaking hectic lately, dude.
You know, Herman came to me and he started asking as we were sitting at the bar at Longhorn Steakhouse, and he said, "Is overtime? Is it done? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah,
I didn't know how to answer him. You know, I started like tearing up a little bit, and
oh my god.
No, you know, we've just all been. I swear, we're all going through our midlife crisis right now. Like, all of us are just tripping out. Struggling. Come on, getting old, dude. Come on, you can't tell me you're not going through it right now too, Joe. Like, we've all been freaking out, having to deal with our own crap, and it's been hard to make this a priority. For sure.
It really needs to be a priority. This is what holds us. This is the glue. This is the glue that holds our lives together. That's why we're all falling apart, because we're not doing it every week anymore. You know?
Yeah. No, it's rough. Like, because like today, it's funny. This morning, my routine, I'm so like routine. I get up at 5 a.m. I sit down, I take a shower, and then I go sit down on the couch for an hour before I have to leave. So then I just it was texting you guys this morning. I'm like, guys, I want to do the show today. We're doing it, you know, and then we're all on board, but then life happens. You know, Bill couldn't make it. And that's just been happening a lot with all of us. Each of us have had those issues.
Yeah. And I've had to ignore you guys the last few days. I have been in Kansas City teaching, and the last time I was at a you know, an on-site or whatever doing a class, I'm handing my iPad around the class, and you guys are texting me with some not suitable for work type text messages.
Like what?
And I have it blown up on the big screen, and you got these freaking messages pop up. So I got to put hide notifications for a couple days.
Oh gosh, man.
Yeah.
Good gosh, yeah. You got to carry a good boy phone and a naughty boy phone, bro.
I don't have California money, man.
I don't have that California money either. That's the problem.
Hmm.
So it's freaking
yeah. So,
dude, I gotta say, man, I genuinely envy you because I really want to figure out how to do some sort of teaching like in person. That is, I want to do it, dude.
Just do it.
Just do it.
There's not a, you know, that this is what, when I went to start my company years ago, I wanted to do it. And a friend of mine, I remember sitting at a bar with him, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And he's like, you're never going to be ready. He's like, sometimes someone needs to kick the freaking chair out from underneath you, so you stand up and just freaking do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's yeah, I hear you on that. It's just hard, dude. You know, it's just hard to fucking, you
got it though.
Make change.
You got the gift of gab. Like you're gonna be the life of the party in every room, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, it's a really, like, I didn't get to talk to you guys very much about this, but like I really at AHR and even at the symposium, it's so weird because I talk to so many people, but I have a hard time believing what they say. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard for me to have confidence in myself, I guess.
There he is.
What is up?
What's up, dudes?
Go ahead, Joe. What were you going to say?
You know, honestly, I was just talking about social media in general. I was going to sidetrack a little bit, but don't worry. I was just going to say, I'm kind of sick of social media and some of the stuff I see on social media, but some people.
I feel like every day that something new comes on social media, I feel like I'm an old man. I'm like, seriously, I'm so old because this agitates the fuck out of me. I hate, I'm genuinely starting to despise social media myself.
Let's talk about it. What was the last thing that showed up that pissed you off?
Me, I would say people being too open of their personal life and talking about their job online when their employer could see what they're talking about, yet they still talk about it and say, but no disrespect. It's like, I don't know, I just find it's too immature and too dumb.
Yeah, but that's, you know, that's kind of like,
I feel no, and that's the thing. I feel like with something like that, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you got to just let stuff go like that, because if you let that get to you so much, it just makes you bitter. And like that's how I feel when I've been there too. I go down that path with social media. That what I hate about social media generally is that I get caught up in crap. Why do I care? Why does this bother me? It really shouldn't. That's what I hate about social media. It's so addictive, and the way that it works, it's fucking stupid. I like talking to people.
Let go and let God, you know?
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
But you know, it's funny. I don't know if you guys have, speaking of let go of things, you are either one of you guys, I know Joe's not, but that HVAC for Life group, that freaking dumpster fire of a group.
Never.
Dude, one thing I've had to learn to do is to get out of those groups. I haven't been in most of those groups because they agitate me, and I'm like, why do when people start agitating me, I just unfollow them. I'm like, because I don't want to see them on my feed.
There's this dude in the group, I don't remember what his name is, but he posts weird stuff all the time, and Thomas he met yeah. You saw the picture where he posted he was holding a dildo next to
the rainbow dildo.
Who was that? Who was that?
I think it's Thomas Pears is how you say it. Pears. I don't know how to say it.
Okay.
He's got this like ongoing thing with Gene Slade lately, and they met at one of the AHR or something. They met at one of the big HVAC events, and they've kind of been like going back and forth. But he's a character. He's always on there posting some sort of nonsensical stuff. But you know, getting back to why we all hate, not to derail your story wherever that was going, Adam. Don't forget where that was going. But getting back to hating social media, you know what I really like? The thing, if I'm watching anything on social media, reading, mostly Facebook, I don't do a whole lot of Instagram or Twitter or whatever else these kids are doing.
Right.
But it's the posts where they're like they're like it's like they got this whole victim mentality, this whole victim thing, and like, oh my god, poor me, and this thing and that thing. I don't know what it is, but that just pisses me off.
I mean, again, that stuff, I can see what you're saying, but I'm trying to just let that stuff go, like let it not get to me. I've been really making a real effort just to not let it get to me. I know it agitates me, but I just don't give it any time.
So this is am I echoing?
No,
Not at all.
no.
No? Okay. But yeah, I don't know. Just, I get it. I understand where you're coming from, Bill and Joe and everything else, but and there's people that piss me off. Like we've talked about it, some of the traveling salesmen and this and that, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, what's up, Randy?
Whatever.
I see your message in there.
Randy
and Luke.
Speaking of Randy, let's talk about Yamo.
Oh, yeah.
How does
Crazy.
that segue? Speaking of Randy.
So our friend Yamo, so for those that don't know, you guys that have been watching for a long time, you probably get it. Yamo's a real good friend of the show. Been on the show a bunch of times, not in the last probably 2.5 years, but for a while he was on the show quite a bit. So we have a super top secret chat with the 4 of us, and Yamo's in it too. So he kind of tells us a bunch of stuff.
I don't know why Freon Liam, but that's hilarious. He got deported.
If he got deported from Mexico, I don't know where they'd send him.
Canada.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's
But
place.
anyways, we're joking, but seriously though, we got to kind of think about this. But Yamo's mom's in the hospital right now, and he's been going through a lot.
guy.
And it's
yeah, and we don't mean she's there cleaning. She's there because she has medical needs.
Bill.
She doesn't work there. She's not like a janitorial staff.
You are amazing, Bill.
Not like that.
You're such an asshole, dude. You're such an asshole.
Not like
You would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yamo would appreciate that.
Oh fuck. But no, but Yamo asked if
Amazing.
we would ask people to keep him in your thoughts because
Yeah, prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
yeah, because he's going through a rough time right now. His mom's in the hospital and it's pretty bad. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Happens
kind of
too quick.
crazy. It does. And it's kind of crazy that, it's funny because I've been talking to my wife about this, and we're all at that age right now. I bet you guys are all going through this, but like there's someone's family member that we know that's in the hospital. There's, so-and-so's sick. You heard this horrible thing that happened to so-and-so, and it's been happening a lot, but it just comes with our age, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine's dad just passed away, and I'm like, wow, it's like you said, Chris, we're getting to that age where this is
normal,
like part of
you
life,
know?
and it's a part of life like I'm not really prepared for.
Oh, it's dude, it just comes, it just goes. Like my mom passed away 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I mean, that's just crazy to think. Like I didn't really have a relationship with my mom, but still, it's just crazy to think like, oh yeah, my mom's not alive anymore.
I had I don't know, my grandpa, both my grandpas on both sides passed away like years ago, right? And so I was kind of I was old enough to understand that and I was kind of in the know and prepared for it a little bit, but like now these are people that I know that aren't really like my grandparents were old my whole life.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously that's gonna happen, but now these are people like I sort of grew up with and like their parents, and I don't know, it's just weird.
Jason Johnson says his wife's mom just passed away. Like,
and I'm another person you guys should keep in your thoughts and prayers is Jim Bergman.
yeah.
Why? What's up with him? I've been out of it, Luke.
His cancer's back.
Is this
remission?
Is this public knowledge now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had a big shirt at the symposium. They're getting everyone to sign it, and hey, give best wishes and everything. So
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say West bitches.
West bitches.
So before you popped in, Bill, Adam had brought up he went and saw Herman, and Herman asked him if the overtime show was over. And we kind of all had our thoughts, like, and Adam said he didn't really know how to answer that. And it's like, it's not over. It's just, I kind of mentioned earlier on the show that it's just that we've all got a lot of crap going on in our lives right now.
Right now, I got my finger right on the end.
No. Bill's ready to be done. No, like we just all have a
man.
lot of stuff going on. It's been hard.
Yeah,
You
dude,
know?
it's been real hard, man. And like I can speak for myself because I don't want to, speak on your guys' behalf because I know what you guys are all going through, but I don't know if you want to make that public or not. But myself, dude, it has been nuts. Having a kid when you're 42, it sucks. It sucks giant balls. It sucks so many balls. It sucks all the balls. It's horrible. I can't say it enough. It's horrible. But my kid's first words were dad, so that's cool.
That's
But
awesome, dude.
Nice.
besides that, everything else is horrible. Like she cries
No,
a lot.
we've
Yeah.
all we've all been each other's freaking sounding boards.
Emotional
Sounding boards.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
dude,
100%.
I think it's kind of like part of the, it's not just us four, but it's like the community. Like there's a
Yeah.
big group of everyone that kind of, everyone plays their role, right?
Yeah.
So
No, it's been crazy, but I mean, it's just kind of, anyways. But the overtime show, it's not over. It's always going to exist in some iteration. We kind of took every other week as the goal for the show, but even then, stuff comes up. Like I don't know about you guys, but for me, about 2 years ago, I had to make a promise to myself that I wasn't going to make my videos or anything on the internet a priority in my life because I needed to like focus on my life, and then if I could do the videos or if I can do the overtime show, then I do it. And that's kind of,
let's there's one thing I wanted to like we should probably be having this discussion not on the air, but that's cool. I think that we're an open book, so let's do this, right?
cool.
I was talking to the Grapevine guys, seeing Fracco
Yeah.
and Chris Hughes and they have this idea, and I want to run this past you guys, and I want to run this past everyone else as well too. What do you thought? Because instead of like taking up all the Fridays or every other Friday and just having this, what do you? They have this idea of doing seasons. What are your thoughts on doing a season?
I thought about that
Season-
years ago.
Where we change, like where someone might leave for a season or something like that. Is what you're
No,
saying?
where
Or what?
we have,
No,
like,
this is not like
set amount-
Survivor.
Yeah, we have a set amount of episodes. And then we-
Survivor.
No, it's like we would only do
Oh.
the show during like 6
So
months.
Okay, let's do it right now. Can we commit to 10 episodes a year? I'm down.
10 episodes a year is not a lot at all.
But you
Yeah.
got time to plan it.
Pump them numbers up a little bit, bro.
Literally, you got time to plan it.
Yeah,
we
but
don't-
there's better be banging episodes if we're doing 10 of them.
We got 2 weeks between episodes. How much do we plan now?
That's true. Remember when we took our 6-month hiatus for 30 days or whatever it was that we didn't do the show, and then we said we had all these plans. Didn't we do like a 2-month hiatus or something?
Yeah, about that.
And then we were like, we got all these plans. We're like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this. We were super excited. And then
It was really nice not doing anything for a while.
It
Dude, there's a
was.
spider coming down right in front of my face right here.
See that?
I actually see it on camera, bro.
Do it.
That's
you're gonna
crazy.
do it while you're sleeping anyway. You might as well do it while you're awake.
Bill, what is going on? You've been getting a lot of boiler stuff lately.
Yeah, dude, I was at another boiler call today, and so today was kind of confusing, right? Which, by the way, I got a new tattoo, a little tiny mountain on my finger.
That's super dope.
It's super cool.
Is that a Coors Light tattoo?
It is. Is
Nice.
that like Coors Light? No, it's just a random ass mountain.
Taste the rainbow.
Sometimes I just pick things. I'm like, just tattoo that on me. That's no joke. Like I got a bunch of little ones all over the place now.
You're
But-
kind of regretting that HVAC overtime tattoo, aren't you?
Fuck no, bro.
I was actually just thinking about going and getting an overtime tattoo.
Do it. I was at my tattoo shop the other day, and she's like, "Oh, I just noticed you have HVAC tattoo," and I was like, "It's HVAC overtime, HVAC overtime." She's like, "Oh, is that for your job?" I'm like, "No, that's my podcast." And she's like, "Oh, you do a podcast about your job?" I'm like, "It's deeper than that."
It's
way deeper than that.
It's a brotherhood.
Yeah, it's like it's in my blood.
It'd be funny if Jill would like kind of laugh about that, because I've been wanting to get a tattoo forever, but I've just been dragging my ass on making a decision.
Good.
And then
set up the
I
same day
told her
with
that
y'all.
I told her that my tattoo that I get, I've always wanted it to come down my shoulder, be above my sleeve, go down my back, go down my chest. I don't know what, but I've always wanted that tattoo.
Dude,
And
I think you should get overtime right on the tramp stamp. Chris.
Oh,
Do
that
it.
would be funny, dude.
Do it. You need
That
a
would be
Tweeter Sam
so
overtime
awesome.
tattoo.
Imagine
Right there,
that.
just peeking out, just
Just
little
when you're-
peeks.
When you're filming your videos, you just like kind of let it
Have it
let your
peek
shoe back
out.
a little bit.
Yeah.
That's funny. But it'd be funny if my first tattoo ends up being the freaking HVAC overtime thing. She'd be like, "What the fuck?"
The show will sponsor it, just so you know.
Oh, will it?
The tattoo,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, do I have to front the money to the show to sponsor it?
You may have to, yeah, because none of our videos are monetized, and those that are violate every copyright.
But hey, I challenge you. If you want to get a tattoo, I'll do it on the same day. You set it up for day X, and I'll go on day X. We'll both get it, but Joe won't go. He'll say he'll go, but he'll get one of those.
I get a
iron-on
fake
tattoos.
And
one.
tattoos.
henna tattoo.
Do you have any tattoos, Joe?
No, I don't.
I thought you had
Are you
one.
just saying that because you don't want to get tracked by the police?
No, I honestly don't. I don't have any at all. I just I don't know. I just never got to it. I guess I never.
You need to get
felt
like
I needed one.
a freaking Steve-O style tattoo. You need to get like a tiny penis right here on your cheek, just like right there. Just
He did
not
not,
ever say
man.
anything about it. Just get it.
Yeah.
Would you get an overtime tattoo, Joe?
It would have to be really small.
Mm.
Oh, I got this tattoo. Can't see it because it's upside down, but it's log plus fire equals campfire.
Oh, that's amazing, Bill.
It's the
You know
recipe. In case you need to make a
Yeah.
campfire.
Hey guys, look at this. This is what we got to do.
Be like, you guys want to
Man.
know what you gotta do? Bam.
What did the tattoo
What do you-
artist say when you came in with that idea?
She's like, fucking genius.
Did she really?
No. She's like, what does that mean? I was like, what does it mean? Log plus fire equals campfire. Yeah, you
It's a treasure map.
just spell it out in apples for you?
Oh man.
What was the? Sorry to cut you off. What was the call today, Bill, about the boiler?
Oh yeah. So that one, boiler number 2 was just down, not communicating or anything with this energy management company. So I go there, display is off. It's a Well McLean Ultra 230. And keep in mind, I was just
Thanks
there
for that, Mike.
yesterday,
Thanks.
and
man.
I had to swap the exhaust and the fresh air intake. I talked to you about this a while back, Joe, but I had to swap the exhaust and fresh air intake. I added up all the fittings, all the straight pipes, and I was at like 94 feet equivalent length. And they say in the manual it's 100. So I swapped them around because they were having issues with the exhaust coming back into the building. So I swapped them around, ran the exhaust further out yesterday. Everything was up and running yesterday. I came back today, and boiler number 2 was just off. And I'm like, all right, well, I got power going to it, but the display is off. So I go to the breaker box. There's a breaker that's tripped that's labeled boiler. Swap that, put that back on. Nothing happens. I eventually find that there's an aquastat that was open. And when I was rerunning the exhaust, I moved the aquastat. All I did was take it and I just moved it over. The thing about this aquastat, which I don't know how much this affects things, the aquastat sensing bulb isn't in a well. It's just strapped to the pipe.
Huh?
I've seen that a couple times now, but I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
Is it insulated at least?
No.
That's
I
not-
mean, it's insulated with a metal strap
yeah.
that's holding it to the pipe. But
Anyways, go on. Sorry.
so anyway, that was open. Jumped it across, it wouldn't reset either. So I took it off there, let it cool down, it reset. For whatever reason, the pipe was only 187 degrees. The loop temperature was 180. And it was just, it just had reached temperature. But when I noticed when I took the strap off, the sensing bulb was like kind of concave, kind of squished in a little bit. And I think maybe since it was, smushed a little bit, that threw off its sensing a bit. Like that made it think that it was hotter than what it actually was on the pipe, and it tripped. Because I cranked it up to 240 and I still couldn't get it to reset until I removed it off the pipe and let it cool down.
Yep.
So I replaced that and everything fired right back up. But I was going to fire this question off in the chat earlier. If you guys have ever seen aquastats installed in such a manner where the bulb is just strapped to the pipe.
Not for
House has. So.
Houses, yeah.
What's the what brand?
yeah.
Brand of
Like
aquastat.
Honeywell? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Honeywell L4600.
Let me look that up. Is that one of those where it's like it's a bulb, but it's like a long gray thing that the bulb
It's a long
sits
copper
over the top of it?
long copper ball, but the body of it, it's a gray body rectangle stat, and then
Yeah. The bulb like fits behind the gray body, right? What is it called? L what? Honeywell?
yeah, I think it's an L4600.
Oh, sounds familiar.
So Clive, yeah, we changed our time last week or the week before, somewhere in there. And I
Yeah, we
hate
did as
time
well.
change, dude. It needs to just delete and stop.
I
Like
know.
it sucks because now when it starts getting dark, I only have like 2.5 hours to bed or something. Like it's just weird. My head processes things differently.
So it's not like it's a strap on, or is it something that's like a well?
I mean, when I looked it up online, it looks like it goes in a well. Like I know it goes in a well. I've seen these thermostats before. My old house actually had one of these aquastats, and it went in a well, or an aquastat similar to it. I don't know if it's the same exact one, but it's just a copper sensing bulb, like yay long,
I don't know, I
little.
usually see them in a
pencil.
well, and I think they would be way more accurate that way. Of course,
That's what
it's
I
just
was
dumb to
thinking.
have it outside and not insulated too. It's like with any sensor, any measuring temperature.
Yeah, it's like I would imagine it's. I mean, with it being non-insulated, it is still going to do something, but the temperature is going to be way off.
Yeah,
But I wasn't sure. Is that common? Do you just strap them to the pipes all the time? I mean, seems kind of.
I see so many stupid things. Even with temperatures reading in and out waters, and they're in the airstream, so it's giving a false reading because you're trying to get the water inside the pipe, but it's in the airstream. So we're reading the airstream, so it's giving a false temperature, and it screws everything up. And that's from the manufacturer. So I've seen so many stupid things. It's up to you, I guess.
There's different. They do strap on. That's the way some people like it, and then they have the ones that you stick it in the hole.
Yeah, ding ding. Yeah. Absolutely.
With the time change, Greg Austin was saying that he thought we voted it out. In California, we did, but they haven't done. Like we approved it. We approved to stop time change, but nothing's happened. It's been like 3 years.
There was like an interview where some reporter was talking to Trump about it because Trump said he was going to end it, and then he's like, "Hey, it turns out we did research on it, and like 50% of the people said they like it, and 50% of the people said they didn't like it." So he's like, "I really don't care anymore."
I don't understand. I don't know.
Honeywell A19. That sounds familiar too. You should pull that one up. I want to see that.
I can't. You know what? Because I updated my computer. It says I can't share screen until I allow permissions and then restart my computer.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do it.
But you know what?
Honeywell. What's the number again? Honeywell A19.
Yeah.
Remember that boiler system I was telling you about the other day, Joe, that had no gauges on it, and then
Yes. And Adam and I were saying that's the first thing you got to do is add a gauge. But go ahead.
So I got a pile of those little gauges that have the hose bib connection on them.
Perfect.
Super cool. And I put one on that system because unless I do some repiping, which they're not going to do, then there's no place to really put a gauge. There's no spots that have plugs in it. Like it looks like when they piped this in, they were just like, whatever, we don't need gauges because I mean, I would assume they're thinking that the Well McLean's, since they have the little gauge on the display itself, which don't work anymore.
Did you see where that was? It disconnected or broken on the inside of that little tube?
It didn't look like it was physically broken, but I also didn't inspect it very much because I'm like, that may or may not work. If that tube is broken, it still may or may not work. I need to get my own dependable gauge. So I went the route of those little gauges with the hose bib, put those on there, and I was right at like 28 or 30 psi or something like that, but it was right at the point of blow off for my relief valves. So that's why they were being all drippy and shit. So I should have took a picture of that pressure tank because that was still weird pressure tank. And I probably didn't do this the way that I should have, because all I did to reduce pressure in the system was I just drained out a bunch of water until I got my pressures down to like
that's fine.
PSI. Nothing wrong with that.
What I wanted to do though, I wanted to explore that pressure tank a little bit. I wanted to drain that completely out and then just see what the bladder was set at, because you don't know what the bladder was set at. The little gauge on the side said it was set to 40. But I did some research on that pressure tank. It's got the sight glass on it, and it's a West Viewmeister or West Viewmaster, something like that. I forget what it is.
Made by Bell and Gossett, right?
Yeah, a
Which
West.
shouldn't still be at 40, correct?
No.
Don't know.
That's the thing. Whatever your fill pressure is should match your tank pressure, right? Your cold fill pressure and tank pressure should match.
Right.
That makes sense. The tag on the back of the little face covering said it was factory charged at 40, but I don't know if it's been screwed with. Also, that little sight glass that's in there, if it shows red, according to the little bit of research I did, if it shows red, that means the bladder may have ruptured or there may be issues on the inside. But I would also assume if it did rupture, I wouldn't show 40 psi in the bladder, but I don't know.
You know what I like to do? Like, I know it's a floor mount tank, and that like bump it around a little bit, do a little bump and grab and like knock on it. That's what I do.
See if there's any swishy, swashy sounds.
Play the if it's completely full of water, it's gonna feel like a tank of rocks. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be solid.
And actually, that tank's not that old. It's
Oh, it's not?
No, it's just a couple years old.
Well, whoever put that in, I think maybe there was one previous. They put that in and then they didn't set it right or whatever, and it's still screwing up. And like, what was the first thing I asked you, Bill? Is the floor wet all the time there? And what did you say? Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't it that one?
Yeah. And it's wet because the
relief.
Yeah, the reliefs are constantly just.
Well, I don't think you. I told you that I was trying to tell you to freaking cut that pressure down. I don't think you believe me though. You didn't believe me.
I got some pictures right here. I'm going to send you a picture.
Yeah, we were going through that, Jason. He's asking what's the PRV set to. I was telling him to even just isolate it, see if it, makes up, isolate it, get it, stuff like that. And I don't know, did you end up doing that after? Did you isolate the PRV completely after, or?
I didn't.
Okay.
So, well, here's my thing with the PRV. So if I have the PRV, like, how do I set the pressure on it if I isolate it? So I know I got the isolation valves right next to it. How do I isolate? You
need a good pressure gauge. That's what you need, right? Like,
there's no place to put it between the isolation valves and the PRV.
Right.
Some PRVs even that would look pretty old, and some do have a dial on it, but yeah, it's
and another thing that you got to be careful of, if you there's times, it doesn't happen very often, but there are times when pressure reducing valves will get garbage or something inside of them.
Absolutely.
And they keep feeding. They continue feeding just a little bit. They're just like pissing a little bit of water through all the time. You know what I mean? I've had that where you just shut the valve and hey, all of a sudden the pressure normalizes.
Yeah, I threw a picture in the chat, Adam, if you can.
I can't.
Oh.
Well, hold on. Let me see.
Chris has to.
Chris to the rescue.
Well, don't. Yeah. You put it in the chat? Oh, on. I've been really dumb with this lately, so give me a second. So,
I mean, if there's no place to put a gauge in between the isolation valves next to the PRV, how would you set it? Just drain the whole system off and start fresh, back it out all the way like you do a TXV?
I back it out. You could really drain down your pressure. That system they were talking about, you don't need a lot of pressure in there at all. There's no lift.
No,
there's zero lift.
It doesn't leave the room.
Right. So you don't need much pressure whatsoever. Right. But you could drain down your pressure and then really back out that PRV and then slowly increase it until and I turn everything off so it's silent in the room and you can kind of hear where water starts feeding and when it's not feeding. Right.
Yeah. So there's that sight glass. And according to the manufacturer literature, that sight glass, the little tiny, there's like a piece of paper in there that's moisture sensitive. It should be white, but it's kind of brown. And in the video I watched from the manufacturer, it says if it's brown, it should be like it's orange if it's wet, but if it's brown, which the picture doesn't do it justice, it is mostly brown. If it's brown, there is something else, but it's not necessarily ruptured, but there's something going on. So I think there's other issues with it, but I think that other picture, I
Is
don't
there
have
another one? Hold on. I don't think there
one
is.
next, but I don't know if the other one actually showed the model number of it.
Oh,
I mean, by all rights, I don't know if is there a drain valve? Can you isolate the expansion tank and do they put a drain valve on that line?
Yeah, right. They didn't put gauges. They didn't
Yeah,
put probably valves. It's one of those companies. They don't think of the
no,
future
there's
servicing. You know what I mean?
isolation valve, but I don't know where you can drain it from. I think like the way the tank sits, it sits almost like an upside down like recovery tank, like a
Yeah.
it's got a base on the bottom of it, and I think underneath there's a valve that I can drain the water out of, perhaps. But the way the tank is positioned, I can't see behind there. Like there's a space, but I can't see in there to see if there's an actual valve there. So if there is a valve to drain it, it's not easy to get to.
Accessible. Yeah.
To get to, yeah.
Oh yeah, right there. Oh, I didn't get the model number in that picture. But yeah,
Right.
I've never seen a.
Orange means consult factory.
Mm-hmm.
It's not orange or white.
No, it's brown.
Hmm. They
Yeah,
don't give you specifications for brown.
he mentions it briefly. The guy who, one of the people in the Wes Meister or Bill and Gossett video, he mentions brown briefly, but he doesn't really say what's causing it.
Yeah.
did
So
you guys? Oh, good.
the no, somebody was just asking about the what's the pressure on the relief valve? What is the rating on it? It's 30 psi, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that tank, I mean, no matter what, that tank should not have 40 psi in it.
but see, if I had 40 psi in that tank, I only have 12 psi in the system. When I go to the hose bib, the nearest hose
Yeah,
bib
but
I can get, you know,
I want you to think about it like this. There's a balloon inside that tank.
Yep.
And the balloon is filled with, you're filling it with air and you're expanding it. That's the pressure you're filling. That's the pressure, the air pressure.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, without any water in it, that pressure is filled with an air compressor, whatever. So you could fill that with 40 psi and it has nothing to do with the pressure in the system, you know?
yeah. Well, that's what I was getting confused because you told me that the pressure in the tank should equal the pressure in the system.
It won't automatically. You should have the cold fill valve pressure and the pressure in the expansion tank should match. So they should be set the same. It's not going to come that way. Yeah.
So you're saying the PRV should be set?
PRV and the tank should be set the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have no
And
idea what the PRV is.
The
Even
reason why, if you think about it, because the whole purpose of the expansion tank is as you're heating up water, you want the water is going to expand.
Yeah.
And you need it to be able to push on that cushion of air. But if that air is
pressure.
not, if the air is too pressurized, it's not going to be able to push on it.
Yeah,
Right.
thermal expansion.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, you know how many
overpressure.
places I go, sorry, and I just shut off the PRV. I'm like, at houses, I'm like, man, shut it off. You don't really need it open all the time, to be honest with you. Like, how much water makeup do you really need, to be honest? Not much. But anyways.
I would imagine if it's not set, if that PRV isn't set properly and your system like shuts off for an extended period of time and the water cools down and your pressure in that system drops obviously below the PRV, it could overfill the system, right? And then it goes to heat back up again and then.
Well, depending where that PRV is plumbed into, it will keep on feeding the system. That's another story, but yeah.
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 So House agrees. He says it was probably never set up properly to begin with,
I
right?
agree.
Yeah.
It sounds like that whole system needs to just be drained down and then readjusted properly. You know, the other thing too, I think it was that guy right there. He had mentioned getting a tire gauge to check the pressure, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have on me. I thought I had one in my damn truck, but I don't have a tire gauge, a pressure gauge to read the pressure inside though. So it says 40 on that dial. I'm assuming that's accurate, but I don't know if that's accurate.
I would just stick gauges. That's why I stick gauges everywhere. Like, you want to know your pressure everywhere at all locations, even in the beginning of the pump, after the discharge pump. I just did one the other day. By the way, I did the whole system that Navient Adam with press. It's so clean.
How'd you like it?
Yeah, and I loved it. And the owner liked this so much that he's assigned to on the second floor, so the tenants are isolated. He wants to what's it called? Do all the rads and all the 3 VRFs, hot water coils, another combi.
Nice.
So I'm getting another job out of it because he likes it so much.
So, Joe, when you're putting your pressure gauges in that on both sides of pumps and this and that, are you calculating GPM?
Well, no, it's just pressure, just to see if they're on. And it's not really. It's just the flanges that you could stick the gauges on it. It's one of those.
Are you
Just
putting little ball valves under the gauge in case you got to swap them out?
The ball flange valves are part of it. Yeah, absolutely. Whoever installs pumps and doesn't put ball valve are dumb and put those
that makes me mad. Like I want to beat somebody
because you have to drain it down. You can't just valve it off.
And like something that should take, if you have a bad pump, it should take you like 10 minutes for a repair. It ends up taking you like 2, 3, 4 hours, maybe longer, depending on the size of the house.
Interesting thing, not really related to what you guys are talking about, but ball valves and pumps. I've got a glycol refrigerator, right? That uses glycol, has a tiny little pump, and they have only one ball valve on it. Okay. On one side of the, is it one? No, there's another. No, there's only like one ball valve, or the way that it's piped. There might be 2 ball valves, but regardless, if you ever take the pump out, it will drain down the whole glycol bath. Like, even if you got it valved off, and you're like, what? Because it creates a siphon and starts pulling it from up, because the glycol is way up high in the unit.
Of course.
It just drains it all down.
You should make a video about it and say how dumb it is, and maybe the manufacturer will change it.
They don't listen to me. Manufacturer's Kyrac. I've had the same thing happen though too, with like beer system glycol units too, because they don't put ball valves on the lines going out to where the loop is, and so it'll just create a siphon and pull everything out of the lines, and you're like, "Fuck, I don't got enough buckets up here to collect all this shit."
That's bizarre.
Anyways, yeah, no kidding.
Change the subject. Yeah, pain in the ass.
Can you install a ball valve or some sort of valve?
I'm sure I could, but it's like I'd have to tie into this the loop lines on the beer system. Like it's in the beer system, the polypropylene beer lines. It's those that'll drain down on the glycol units. On the little Kyrac reach-in, there's not enough room the way that they have it piped to get another valve in there. It's a pain in the ass.
Refrigeration stuff, it's so long.
Did you guys see a couple weeks ago I put up like a short on an exhaust fan? It was a start-stop station that like it had like a weird problem. Did you guys see that? Any of you? Yeah. So yeah, the customer called me saying the exhaust fans weren't working, and they have a start-stop station. It's a really old school wiring, which I want to talk about.
The one where you went and just hit the button and everything started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I showed up. Manager said it wasn't working. They got all the doors open to the restaurant. They didn't shut down the kitchen, so there's smoke everywhere. And I walk up and I just go to the push button thing, and he goes, "I've been pushing it, nothing happened." I push it, it started up and it ran. All their exhaust fans started, and I'm like, "What the hell, dude?" Like I had emergency service call, and I'm like confused. But I don't ever like get pissed at the manager, because instantly in my head, I'm already thinking, no, there's a bigger problem here. Like I know it's not as simple as this. I know the manager was doing what he was saying he was doing. And then as I'm standing there talking to him, like looking at things, all of a sudden all the fans shut off. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I take the cover off. But here's the thing. This is the weird situation, because I had a kitchen where they're cooking. There's smoke everywhere. I get it to start, and now it's working. You don't want to shut it off because it's working. They're already happy. The kitchen cleared out of smoke, So when I approach these problems, you have to be very careful. So I didn't want to pull the switch off. I couldn't shut off power because now their hoods were running. They're still cooking. I just left it the way it was.
Come back.
But anyways, what's that?
Come back in the morning when they're,
that was what I was contemplating doing as I'm talking to the manager, but then it shut off again. And I'm like, what the heck? So I get kind of curious, and I pulled a switch cover off, and I figured it was going to be a bunch of grease back there because it's in a kitchen, and there was a little bit around the edges. I push it, the button on without the cover on it, it starts, it runs. We're talking 20 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell? Put the cover back on.
Oh, that's the one where there's like the set screw on it.
Yeah. The cover was binding. What it is, because it's a push station. So start-stop station for exhaust fans, they have a normally open and a normally closed contact, right? So you push the green button, it's a momentary pushes it, and then there's a latching relay, and it runs back through the stop button. It's really weird. But anyways, so it'll run until you push the stop button. Well, what was happening was the stop button, the cover was binding with the switch somehow. So whenever you would tighten the bottom screw really tight to get the cover up to the wall, it would stop the exhaust fan. So clearly there's something happening in the wall. The switches also looks like it has grease all over it. So it's been running with just the screw missing, and I don't want to do anything else until I get the new switch. So I've got a new switch coming, and then I'll pull it apart and, you know, figure it out. But that was kind of weird to see that it was just the freaking screw because the cover's binding somehow on the stop button. It's kind of crazy. But I still don't understand, was the switch actually faulty or was it just a bit out of position so it touches the stop button? I honestly think it's probably just the cover, but I'm not willing to risk it becoming a problem. So we ordered him a new switch. We'll clean it up. We'll put if I can, I'll put a gasket behind it, but I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Maybe I might even have to level the box because sometimes you have to put shims behind switches to get them level. And something like this, it's not a normal light switch. The something could be off, you know, for, you know, what these kitchens do too. I will say that about 6 inches away from this switch is like a dent in the stainless steel paneling for the wall. But it doesn't seem like the dent is affecting the switch, but it's only 6 inches away. You know, weird things can happen when stainless expands and
the box got like tweaked inside,
maybe, you know, but again,
it fills a good portion of that box, right?
Yeah.
Itself. Yeah.
Part of my, because I started to make a video on it, but I never really finished it. But I contemplated getting a different switch because that's a really old system and it's really hard to find a recessed switch. You can buy switches all day long that are exposed, like exterior. They're meant to be mounted exterior, but this is a really, really old switch that's recessed in a stainless steel wall. I actually found a company that has like overstock crap. So I have a switch from freaking 30 years ago that's brand new coming to me because they have.
Do you guys have a place called Gelco around you, Chris?
I don't know.
If they're nationwide or anything.
I don't know.
But I was in there the other day picking up a motor, and I saw they sell a lot of electronics, and I saw a display on the wall of all these different push button switches and toggle switches. And I swear I saw a switch like the one that was in your video. I don't know if it's the same thing, but
I'm really curious, Clive. Are you available to come on right now? I have a question for you about those start-stop stations.
Clive's got to put his pants on.
Yeah. If you're available, that'd be cool. If not, no big deal. We could do it another day. But I'm genuinely curious, like, why are we... What was the point of using the start-stop stations? I understand how they work. I understand what a latching relay does. Like, I get that. But what's the point of having a start-stop station instead of a light switch that's literally on-off? Like,
that's a good question. I mean,
and it overcomplicates the wiring significantly.
Well, now you just ruined the reason why he would come on here. He's just going to answer it in the chat.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's going to leave his pants off, and he's going to answer it in the chat.
Yeah.
Tell me something. If it's ones I'm thinking of, because I didn't see this video, they all have current relays inside and stuff like that to protect it, don't they?
I don't think the start-stop switch has a current. Oh, you're talking about the motor starter in the motor starter cabinet. Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, that does. But
it's not a current relay, but yeah, it's a overload in it.
Overload.
But yeah, I understand I can't really explain it on here, but like I understand how the latching relay works and I understand what it does, but I just don't understand why we have that.
I doubt if ever wears pants, by the way. Well, no, it's pretty cold where he is, so maybe he does.
And he doesn't use heat, right? He just kind of
He's
the cold.
I mean, could it be something so silly and dumb as like, you know how some things have to be handicap accessible? Like it's a simple push button, like it can't be a toggle switch. It's got to be a push button, start, stop. Just for safety reasons, you have to be able to just hit it real fast. It can't be a toggle switch. I don't know.
I guess the difference with having, one thing I could think of is by doing a start-stop station, you could have multiple stop switches. So, because I know you can do that. You can have an individual start button, like one button that you have to push in front of the equipment, but then you can have stop stations all around the room. Like I understand that concept, but these are just exhaust fans. So there's no reason to have this on a kitchen hood system.
I've never seen those on any, like back when I did restaurant work, I never ever saw those.
I've come across them. I still have a few restaurants that have them because they're just old setups and they'd have to rewire everything to get them all, to
switches in my restaurants.
It automatically starts. No, not on these, not on the start stop station. I mean, if it's wired in with the switches, but I can do that with the normal hood switch too. So you know, my makeup air needs to run when the exhaust fans run, but all the in the motor starter cabinet, that's where you make all the connections. You start all the makeup airs at the same. If you have one hood switch, it just turns everything on.
When you hit that start switch, it starts the makeup air and the exhaust and like everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one big boom. Everything turns on.
Boom.
So pulls everything up. But yeah, I just don't understand what the point is on an exhaust fan system. Like, what benefit would having that, besides this building was 30 years old. So that's another thing. It's an old setup, you know. But I mean, light switches existed then. So what was the point? Why couldn't you just have a singular light switch that turns everything on?
I know.
Like every other exhaust system.
Maybe there just was no reason. It was just maybe code at the time, or
Three-phase? Three-phase?
Yeah, three-phase. He says that maybe standard motor control, the remote switch will probably be a safety feature too with an emergency stop. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there, but like it still just doesn't make sense in a restaurant application why we would be using that. Like I understand in a machinery, like let's say you have a big giant mechanical machine and you've got people all over the place and you want everybody to have the ability within 3 feet of where they work to have a stop button. Well, yes, a start-stop station is perfect for that because you wire everything together and you could have multiple stop buttons. But I don't understand on a restaurant exhaust why they would put that on there. But who knows? It's weird.
It is weird.
Good question. We might not really answer that question though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Adam, I was gonna ask you, where'd you get that picture about that compressor that the roofers like?
Oh, that's in one of the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Jeez, how like dumb they gotta be.
Did you see the other one too, where somebody looks like somebody put like a 10 ton on a freaking
yeah, dude, that's a no. I've seen that in the field, dude.
That's common, dude.
I've literally seen up to 2 curb adapters on a package unit, not any more than that. But I've seen pictures on social media.
I'm sure that everyone here that's watching, right? Because we have very intelligent viewers.
Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't install a freaking 10 ton on a 3 ton curb. Right.
No.
If you want everything older, you just need more BTUs. That's it.
Yeah.
Upsize.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. Yeah.
I was out at a restaurant over. I don't know if I told you guys this. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. But I was at a restaurant and I had to jump on the roof because I'm changing makeup air units at this restaurant. No, I'm not going to be there. Adam, are you going to be there?
No.
What is that?
I'm glad you highlighted that one.
What is that anyway?
I didn't highlight anything. HVAC Excellence, the trade show in Vegas. So, but anyways, I went up onto a roof to go measure some makeup air units, and the restaurant had told me that they've been getting a new roof on the building, and they're like, the roofers put the new roof on, and there's water leaking everywhere. They just asked me, like, while you're up there, will you see if you see anything? So I go up there, and I come downstairs because there's a new rubber TPO roof, all the rubber crap, right? And I go downstairs, and I tell the manager, I go, because the roofers apparently were there the day before trying to figure out where these leaks were. It's leaking everywhere, right? And it was raining a couple days before, but the roofers didn't show up when it was raining. So I went up there when it was raining. Dude, the roof drain is completely plugged up. There's a freaking pond on the roof. The whole roof is freaking water. And I told the managers, I go, call the plumber. You guys need to get your roof drain snaked. They're freaking plugged. She goes, oh, I'll send one of my guys up there with a plunger. And I go, it's a 4-inch roof drain. A plunger's not going to do anything. Like I said, no, call the plumber. And she goes, well, we're going to call the roofers too. And I go, I'm sorry, that roof is not designed to be a swimming pool. Like, even if it is rubber everywhere, it has seams. Like, you know, it's meant to have water raining on it. It's not meant to be a freaking pool, you know?
And you up there, he's gonna get his arm stuck in the drain, and then he's gonna drown.
Yes,
on a roof
as it's filling up, millimeter at a time. He's laying there, and his arm's stuck. It's like up to here.
Need so many poor decisions.
And honestly, usually they have their maintenance guys or their facility engineer, whatever they call them, looking after that stuff. To be honest,
dude,
good places.
But even still, I can't believe the roofers didn't go up there when it was raining. Like, had they gone up in there when it was raining, because they're like, no, everything's fine. They couldn't find anything wrong, and I'm like, because the roof drain's plugged up. You know, it's just funny. Been running into weird stuff like that.
Oh, you're wrong, Chris.
Why?
What?
That's OSHA.
Well, that's not. I mean, whatever, but that ain't what they're doing here, dude. Those roofs are not sealed that well here. There's
That's
no
like
way.
No way.
That's what plumbers are supposed to do in new construction and that too. They gotta test fill their drain and vent pipes.
I had one restaurant where
These people aren't pulling permits either. So
our facility guy wanted to do that to flood the roof to test because we had just leaks we could never find in the roof, and the roofers could never find them. And he's like, "Well, let's flood the roof."
dude, this same company that's doing these roofs, I had a service call last summer after they did a roof at one of my restaurants. They said it was pouring water in the kitchen. And I go to the kitchen, I go over there. I don't think I made a video about this either, but I go over there and there's literally a stream of water pouring down, not like pressurized water, but it's a steady stream coming down into the building, into the kitchen. And I'm like, what the heck? So I go up onto the roof. They had just gotten this whole new roof, same roofing company, and they went and lifted all the drains up for whatever reason. They put an extra 1.5 inches. It's because the stands for the drains, they lifted the roof when they went to the TPO like an inch because they put insulation down, and it lifted up the roof. So it pushed up on all the drains. All the ACs were draining inside of themselves because the drain lines were pushed up an inch on every AC. They're just pouring down in there, dude. These companies, it's exhausting to see what they do at some of these places.
A pool on the roof is the latest trend. Yeah, right now, especially changes
For
season.
sure. Yeah, the weight too. Yeah, for sure. That's another thing too. 100%. Gotta be worried about that.
Interesting.
So, what are you guys doing this weekend?
Oh, dude, I am off this weekend. I'm not on call for the.
Weekend?
Yeah, dude. For this is my one time every 5 weeks that I'm off. So
Nice.
I'm
Take it.
literally on call 5 weeks in a row,
That
off 1
sucks.
week right now. So
So you're looking for another guy, right, Chris?
yes. I've got freaking like 5 or 6 interviews on Monday. So
You should schedule an interview 2 Fridays from now and do it live on the
on
overtime.
overtime.
Do it.
Yeah.
Let us pick them.
That would be amazing.
We got good gut feeling.
We'll have
Yeah.
we'll have the viewers vote somehow.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that sounds really great. Yeah.
Professional, right?
It was a bummer. I don't think I told anybody, but we had to let someone go. And so that just kind of put a wrench in everything. And we were already short staffed. So it was a
And-
bummer.
And a lot of them know about you and your channel. So, which is
Well,
makes it
actually,
a little more
so I
awkward.
don't, this is interesting. So my previous employee, the guy that's my main mechanic, he came from YouTube. Like he watched my videos and reached out locally. So that's worked out really well. And it's been awesome. And so, yeah, we'll see. I've got a bunch of people. These are all from just social media posts. I'm not advertising anywhere yet.
That's why Chris fired his last guy, because he didn't participate. He wasn't a team player, if you know what I'm saying. Wink,
Nope.
wink.
Nope. All right. Keep going for 1 sec. I got to step out for a sec.
Where the heck is he going? This is just like, hey, bathroom break time.
Yeah, I'm going to piss my pants in a minute, dude. I'm literally dancing. That's why I'm moving over here right now. So
Do it
You're like
live.
my kid. It's like, hey, let's go on a 4-hour trip. Do you have to go to the bathroom beforehand? You got to go to the bathroom? No. And then
Yeah.
as soon as you leave, let's stop. I got to go to the bathroom.
As soon
Yeah.
as you hit drive, after you back out of the driveway, like, oh, I got to pee.
It's ridiculous.
Chris, Bill, what happened to that boiler call with the flaky low water cutoff?
Oh, so I have because I have to quote everything. So there's a quote to replace that. But I pulled it out, I looked at the probe and cleaned it. And I mean, by clean it, I mean, it's just one of the self-cleaning ones. Wasn't really dirty at all. But, I cleaned it up a little bit, put a little bit of sandcloth on it just to make sure that the surface didn't have any sort of gunk on it or anything. And then I put it back in there, put it back in its well. And it was still kind of flaky. But what I noticed was like the way it screwed down into the well, and like I pulled it up a second time after it was being flaky, and I noticed there's like a little bit of an air gap in there. So I just took a piece of cardboard and I dipped it down in there to see how far the water got down, because I couldn't get above it to see down it, and like the way it's piped. So I just took a piece of cardboard and dipped it down there, and I figured out how deep the water was, or how far down before I actually got to water inside the pipe. And it was like, it's hard to describe, but it's a T where this where this low water cutoff would go into. and then it would thread on there. But where the thickness of the tee, and depending on how many threads below the tee or how many threads into the tee you went, I don't think it was really making good contact with the water. So I put it back in there, opened all my valves up, slowly unscrewed it until I had water coming up around it, just in case there was like a air bubble underneath of it that was keeping the water from touching the probe. It's been fine ever since. I was actually back at that location again today, and it's running fine, which seems really, really weird. But
that is funny that you are frozen right now, Adam.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's
Or
been
is he
frozen
just
for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, he can't hold that position too long. He's too easily distracted.
But anyways,
You
I'm
can't
going
see
to no, you're frozen.
You might as well be the new Sideways Joe.
Yeah.
Hello.
Perfect. But so this weekend I'm off, and my youngest daughter has some stuff going on, so I got to take her to stuff tomorrow, and then her and I and my wife are going to go to a play on Sunday. So
Cool. What kind of play?
my daughter's into Harry Potter, and there's like a Broadway Harry Potter play, so we got tickets
cool.
just to go. I have no idea what it is, but we're just going to go. She wants to go.
Go see the Beetlejuice play.
I've never seen Beetlejuice, but we did see Wicked. Wicked was freaking epic, dude. When it was
cool.
actually the original Broadway cast, we saw that.
I've never seen like a real play in my entire life.
That was the first one when I saw Wicked, and that was like really cool. So
I don't know if I ever will.
I think any Broadway play, I think you can enjoy. Like,
yeah,
they're all cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So it's just gonna be nice to have a weekend and just chill out.
Just do family stuff.
Yes, dude. I feel so bad for my wife because I've been like having a lot of problems lately and like anxiety issues and stuff, and she's been having to deal with it, and I feel like I need to give her and the girls a weekend where I'm just not freaking out about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know what you're saying.
I need it too, but yeah.
But also, like, they're your support system.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it'd be unhealthy for you to get in the mindset of trying to hold it all in to try to save them from listening to it. I think
that's the difficult thing too. Yeah, bottling stuff up. Yeah,
because you don't want to do that just because like I don't want to tell anybody my problems because this. Then you turn into a raging fucking dick or something.
Pretty much my life. That's what I do. That's why I feel bad for them. So.
Well, there's a lot on your shoulders, so you have to admit that. Come on. And to me, I know I don't see it all, but it seems like you're handling it pretty good. You're doing pretty well. So,
yeah. I feel like, yeah, maybe.
I know you feel different, but
I see the cracks forming.
I worry that I'm just like gonna freaking have a heart attack. So
that's why I'm constantly pushing Chris to just shut his whole business down and go do something completely different.
Nah, I don't know.
Shut it all down. I'm on record for saying, Chris, shut it down. Go talk to one of these umpteen sponsors that are constantly sending you emails about joining up with them.
Nah.
I'm gonna do it on your behalf then.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna. Nah,
in your email.
Doesn't need to get that extreme.
Let's start filling out job applications
on Chris's behalf. That's awesome.
You're gonna blow up my phone with people randomly calling me. I get the stupidest emails. Did you guys see that post that I made about the person that emailed me saying that if I wanted to know if they wanted to make a video for my website to better introduce people to what I do, and they want to sell me this video, and it's like, you're so fucking out of touch. My email that they sent it to is HVACR videos too, so it's totally a computer bot or AI or something. It's stupid.
What do you do? What is your channel about?
Yeah, like seriously.
I thought that was hilarious.
But I get that kind of crap. I decided that I'm going to start putting that crap on the internet because like I get the stupidest emails and fucking requests. We should just start accepting all the freaking tool shit that I get because I get the dumbest shit. You want to advertise our fucking gaming chair? I get that fucking 5 times a week. Like the fuck?
Yeah. Even Overtime gets
robot vacuums, dude. Robot vacuums right now. They're popping. So I'm getting a bunch of emails about robot vacuums. I'm like, you're so fucking out of touch. Stop emailing me.
See, I miss back when I actually actively did YouTube videos. I miss like the stupid Chinese tools. Like, hey, put us in your video, and they got all the broken English and stuff. And like, we'll give you a free tool if you make a video for us.
Yeah. And what's funny too is I see them in Overtime as well, and I get them as well. These China brands, and I'm like, hell, no way. And then all of a sudden, I see someone else making a video of it, which is okay. I'm like, just for that free tool? No, thanks. It's
Mm.
disgusting. I'm not gonna get a thermal camera from Temu.
I know who you're
Way
talking
to be
about.
dependable.
Gary
Anyways.
McCready
Yeah.
picks on all those.
Yeah, whatever. He's just a brand guy. He's a brand guy. That's all.
That's true.
Yeah.
He emailed me today.
Sorry.
Nah.
think
I was
Adam's-
on his show. I was on his podcast, guys. Check us out.
That's right.
Yeah. I haven't listened to that yet. I will though.
Neither have I probably won't, but maybe I will though.
It was funny because he asked me to come on, and then I come on. And then while we're like right before we started, like we're already running late, you know. Right before he started, he's like, "So what do you want to talk about?" I'm like, I don't know. You asked me to come on. Like, what do you want to talk about?
So he doesn't plan shit either.
It's the best way to live life, dude. Just let things happen.
And he's like, I thought you would have something you wanted to talk about. I'm like, I mean, I don't have anything I want to talk about.
37 minutes to figure it out till the commercials get done, and then we got to talk.
Good one. Yeah. Good win. Yeah.
What did you guys end up talking about?
Commercials.
Airflow. Yeah.
Airflow.
Yeah.
I think I listened to some of it.
Good job, Joe. It's because he's a fellow Canadian.
Yeah.
And you're trying to band together against the terror.
I think we might be breaking up as Overtime show just because Joe's Canadian, because apparently we don't like Canadian anymore. So
you guys gonna try put tariffs on me or something?
We charge Joe 25%.
But don't you already have tariffs on us?
Oh, it was part of the deal back in years.
When you have to explain something, that's so California to say that, okay? Because California gets water over like the states that the Colorado River flows into, but we have rights to it because we made deals hundreds of years ago to where California has priority to the water, but yet the states that it runs through aren't getting the water. That's like what you're talking about. So
no, but to be honest, there's deals that he made last time he was in term.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Yeah, and we don't need to go down the political route, but yeah, I'm just more or less joking about it.
I can't wait till California just breaks off and floats away.
Dude, if I could move out of California, I'd move out yesterday.
Am I still frozen?
Do it.
You're just a dark screen, bro. You're not even there.
You're in the
I see myself. I'm looking at myself.
You're not looking at the show. You should have the show on another screen.
Yeah.
I have the show on my iPad so I can actually see what's going on. It's just a dark void where you should be.
Yeah.
It's just
that's my heart and soul.
We're peering into your soul.
You're peering into my anxiety and depression, right, guys?
HVAC, the price of eggs right here to get brown, like decent eggs from the grocery store, they're going to be about
so
$9.
Brown eggs are the priority.
My wife likes the brown ones. I don't know.
Most wives do, Chris. Most wives do.
They're healthier. I don't know.
Oh, Adam.
But they're like around 10 to anywhere from $7.99 to probably $13.99 I've seen, and we're paying like $9 for the ones that we get. So
damn.
My dad told me the other day, he said, because he goes to a chicken farm or whatever and buys eggs from the farm. And I told him, I was like, something about eggs. I made a joke. And he goes, dude, I wait an hour and a half in line when he buys eggs. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Just pay the $8.99. Like, for real? I'm sorry, not an hour and a half. I'm not waiting that long to get some fucking eggs from a farm. Like,
you know what that reminds me of?
They're not that expensive yet.
When the gas goes down a couple cents. Oh my God, I gotta go. And there's lineups.
Look, here's the thing. I got enough stress in my life, like always. I'm always so high stress. Look, I don't like paying high gas prices, but I don't fucking look for the cheapest gas because I've got somewhere to be. I fucking stop. There's a gas station that's easy to, I'm in my van 99% of the time. Just fucking pull into whatever gas station's easiest and you got to pay it. And it sucks, but I'm not going to fucking nitpick it. So
you're gonna save
so
what?
Expensive here. I just started buying Cadbury cream eggs instead.
And that is like a thing. They're saying like, how are you going to decorate? Because decorating Easter eggs, like some people do actually do the real eggs, which I think is the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
Nobody eats it.
I heard on a podcast that it's all the egg stuff is because of bird flu, right? That's true.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But how come the price of chicken hasn't gone up, bro?
No, but that's not what I heard. I heard that what happened was, Isn't it like, is that like a death thing that the birds are gonna die because they like euthanize all the freaking birds in the United States because of it? They like
Not
killed
all of them, but they've been going to chicken farms that they find them at and euthanizing the chickens that.
Well, is
have
that
it,
something
so-
that like can't they get better? Can't you give them some
I don't know
medication
about that.
or quarantine them? Give us
Yeah,
the COVID.
You're gonna make them wear masks or what?
Yeah,
You're gonna fucking make them
up.
wear masks for
They
18
made
months?
freaking us wear
Other
masks. Not
chickens.
They're gonna make them eat outside in the daylight and not in their chicken coops, and they're not gonna be able to use the bathroom. It's
The little
yeah.
chicken grocery stores have to have the plexiglass up so the other chickens can't sneeze on each other.
It's like the farmers like secretly controlling all the chickens in their lives. It's like there's one single entity controlling everything in that farm.
See, here in Michigan, we just voted, or somebody voted. I didn't vote for it, but we have to have cage-free chickens. That's it.
Yeah, I think we got some shit like that here too, dude. I don't even keep up with the crap. It's just so exhausting.
You know, what I don't understand is like if you ever seen some of these chicken farms, like the ones that are cage-free, they don't necessarily have cages. They're all just in this giant building, but they're still crammed into it. You know, they're still just like on top of each other.
We make our kids be fucking stuck in a schoolroom for their entire lives, like, but we let chickens stay outside. Come on, like the whole fucking system's a joke. But yeah.
Fucking
anyways, before we go off too deep in politics.
Oh, we're deep, bro. We're deep.
Yeah.
We're going for it.
So yeah, tariff Canada. That's what it is. Joe's paying tariffs. He's got a hard time. He's pissed off at all of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing's
Did you guys know?
it's-
I got a question though. Did you guys even ever figure out your postal shit?
Oh yeah. They got him forced. They forced him back to work.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that. Where the fucking
Yeah,
post
I
office
know.
shut down, bro. We couldn't ship shit
Yeah,
there for
I know.
fucking months.
Why?
They're on.
They were
strike.
striking. They went on strike.
It's like USPS. Yeah,
Hey, speaking of that, didn't the port guys, the port workers here go on strike, and then they're like, well, all right, we'll give up for now, and then over the holidays, like over Christmas time, they went on strike, and then they went back to work, but they said, you know, we'll have to revisit this. I don't know if they ever revisited it.
We haven't saw this guy in a while.
Clint Glass.
Yeah.
Hey, Clint.
He's an OGer.
We've thought about getting chickens, but I don't know, dude. My fucking dogs will eat them. So
That would be awesome.
Isn't
No,
your
it
wife,
wouldn't.
wife and daughters a vegan?
If they killed him, I mean,
vegans or whatever.
no, my wife eats. It's easiest to say she eats like pescatarian. She eats mostly vegan food, no dairy, but she does eat fish.
Presbyterian, isn't that
Pescatarian.
isn't that religion?
yeah?
Pescatarian.
What is it?
Oh,
Is that where they like get up in front and they're like very vocal about when they're
I
speaking?
think that's when they like everything they say is like real negative, like pessimism or something.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, but whatever.
She's like a pescatist. Like,
But no,
Anywho.
my wife eats mainly vegan, but my daughters and everybody eat normal food and me. So it is odd though, because most of the time my wife's cooking 2 meals. She usually cooks something for herself and then she cooks something for us. So she doesn't eat what we eat.
I like how you say we eat normal food.
We do.
Like,
What's not normal about the food that I eat?
Am I still gone?
That's saying like your wife doesn't eat normal food.
Oh, got it. Oh, well, yeah, no, my wife's fucking voodoo vegan bullshit, dude. Like, I tell her that all the time. She always has these remedies. Okay, so I'm going to get to a point with this, but she always has these remedies. Like, she comes to bed smelling like fucking spaghetti. Like, what the fuck? She rubs oregano. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I love oregano.
But it like legit does shit. I call it her voodoo vegan shit because every time she comes up with something cockamamie fucking oil, it actually works. She started coming to bed smelling like a lavender bush. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Lavender.
Now I'm rubbing lavender on my fucking arms and shit to go to bed because it relaxes you breathing it. Like,
Is it really? Like,
Oh,
is
100%.
it
Bro.
the oil or is it the real lavender?
No, it's the oil. You to get
The like, if you're doing like what do they call those things? Essential oils. Those are not good for you. Essential.
what do you
oils,
mean?
They're not good for you. That's
Why?
like that's on the top 3. Do not. That's the no-fly list of John Ellis.
Or is it
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, as far as indoor air quality, yeah, I got you on that.
You don't
but-
want to breathe the crap, and you're rubbing it on your body and such.
Hell
or
yeah,
is it
dude.
just all in your mind?
Get her on here. We need to straighten her out. That's not good for you.
Nah, lavender. Come on, bro.
It's not. It's the oil crap. It's all. It's it's red dye number 5. Whatever.
I don't think the shit she buys is that, but I don't know, dude. This stuff works, man. Like legit.
Yeah.
Actually, slowly poisoning yourself, so you just
Maybe.
gotta stay out.
Get
Maybe
John
that's
Ellis
what our
on
problem
here.
is.
He'll tell you that's a do not fly list.
I'll
He
have
walks
to have
into
a
people's
conversation with
houses, and the first thing he does, he doesn't even ask him, but just grabs it and throws his shit in the
We're not talking like the candles and shit.
And
No,
the
it's
oils.
like the oil stuff.
No, no.
Really?
It's actually
Yeah.
leaves and stuff he's
I
talking
think
about.
maybe that's what Bill Cosby used,
I don't know.
just lavender. He's like,
Maybe.
bam.
No, yeah, we're not atomizing it into the air either. It's not
Doesn't
something that's going
matter.
in an air
There was like a
purifier.
documentary on stuff where people were getting all sick and stuff because they're rubbing it on themselves. As
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was-
lavender's like a flower in ELC. But anyways, I
Not
always
sure.
joke around with her that I always mess with her and tell her that she doesn't eat normal and all this weird crap. So
Okay. Time to get the hell out of here.